Welcome to the Scam Economy with your host, Matt Bender.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Scam Economy live stream post show. It is I, Matt Bender. Hope you enjoyed the episode of the main show with Molly White on crypto's Summer from Hell. I am indeed seriously considering making the tour t-shirt of all of crypto's failures over the summer of 2022, starting with Terra Luna a little bit before summer. Sometimes summer tours start early, right? I am actually thinking about doing that shirt. Anyone know a good screen printing company? Because I think that would be a really fun shirt to make. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the phone lines are open. I'm expecting, I'm thinking about the calls I'm expecting based on what was being talked about in the chat, and probably going to get some calls about my trip to Disney World last week. Probably going to get some calls about my take on financial privacy. I will say, Molly brought up some good points. I still say my broader belief remains the same, but Molly has definitely given me carve-outs where I do think, yes, there needs to be carve-outs for the certain things she brought up. Oh, we already got a caller. Let's take this call. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Matt, this is Dr. Gus calling from Florida.
Hey, Dr. Gus, second time hearing your voice today. You called into the majority port earlier when I was with Emma and Brandon and Lek on the fun half. How are you doing?
Doing great. Hopefully, my phone's not crackling the same way this time around.
Oh, no, it's actually fine. Yeah. Hello?
Hello?
Do you hear me? Hello?
Hi. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. I was just going to say that there's no cracking. Everything sounds great.
Right.
But apparently
Great.
apparently you can't hear me anymore.
Oh, now I can. Now it's perfect. Yeah,
okay,
I don't
cool.
know. Thanks for taking my call today. It was good to be able to jump into that conversation. But I'll make it quick now. Have you heard anything about what's going on in Argentina with the ex-president that they're trying to do like lawfare and take her to jail again?
I barely know what's going on in this country right now. Apparently, Joe Biden had a big speech tonight. I didn't even know it was a thing. I'm completely out of the loop. It's probably going to take me a good week or two to be back on top of things. I think the
that
current
sounds like
news
good
cycle
mental health.
The current news cycle needs to end. So like we need to move on from any sort of tentacle or connection from the weeks that I missed. And once like all that is in the past, then I think I'll be fully back. But until then, everything is news to me. So please let me know what I'm missing in Argentina.
So basically, the current vice president of Argentina is she was a previous president, and she's kind of like of the quote unquote left of Argentina. She's Cristina Fernandez Kirchner. She was part of one of those pink tide governments. Then a right winger won, and now they're back in power. They've been back in power for a few years. The current president, they created kind of like a somewhat loosely left coalition to be able to win the presidency again. The current president is losing a lot of popularity because the economy is not doing great for COVID and all that. So it's looking like the person that is going to continue on with the party is Cristina Kirchner, and she is one of the most popular politicians in Argentina. Basically, a couple weeks ago, they started they revived some prosecution that they had against her back in the day, and they're trying to basically ban her from running for president because they know that if she actually runs in the election, she's going to win. So it's basically a mirror of what happened to Lula in Brazil. They're
Ah.
just repeating the exact same playbook with her. Uh,
Do you know anyone in the country who would be good, or anyone not necessarily in the country but knowledgeable of the situation there, who would be good to have on Doomed to talk about this?
Yes, I'll find out. I know several people that actually have YouTube channels that are great about to do this with. I don't know what their English speaking situation is, so I'll find out for you and see if I can get you in contact with them.
Hey,
Uh,
even if it's even if they could speak it as a second language, I've spoken with people, and I've spoke with my Peruvian cousin who speaks English as a second language on an episode of Doomed. I've spoken with people in Chile. Renee calls in, and you don't need to be. I could easily help walk through someone who can at least have a decent conversation with in terms of
okay,
their familiarity with the language. Look, I barely know it myself, as you can see.
okay, yeah, that's great. I'll see what who I can find. But yeah, it's crazy. But because of all this, in the last like 2 weeks, there's been like they announced that they are prosecuting her, and they're asking for 12 years in prison. And as soon as that came out, there's been protests in front of her house, and clashes between like the like basically the left and the right of Argentina. The left of Argentina was completely all over the place, disunited because they were in power and they were just fighting each other. But now, because of this, it looks like the left is uniting around her. And today, about an hour ago, there was an assassination attempt on her. She was out, like saying hi. Yeah, she was just I don't know what exactly she was doing, but there were a lot of people, and she was like saying hi to people out in the street, and somebody pulled a gun up to her head and misfired. So yeah, like she's fine.
Wow,
She
this is
didn't
literally
like nothing happened
I'm
to her.
seeing when
But
you say just happened. Literally, I'm looking. BBC just posted 8 minutes ago. Like, this is literally just happening.
yeah. That's I wasn't going to call in since I already talked to you today, but yeah, I saw that happen today, and yeah, it's crazy. Shit's really going down in Argentina now.
Damn. All right, definitely. This is
Yeah.
something that DM me, email me, however you want to get in touch with a name or two you think would be really good to cover this.
Okay,
This is
great, great,
definitely
great.
something that is right up uh,
Yeah,
my alley.
yeah. There's a guy in Argentina right now. His name is Tomas Rebord. He's a left winger that has been trying to create successful. He's been very successful at this, creating a copy of the Joe Rogan show, the Joe Rogan experience, but as a leftist, and he's like it's actually working, and it's great. Like it's just so nice to see like media well done from the
Damn.
left. Yeah.
I mean,
So I'll see if
I feel like everyone in the U.S. tries that, and no one's been successful. But it's good to hear that someone somewhere else has been successful.
Yeah, there was just that there was just the opportunity there. Nobody was doing it, and there's just a much bigger left conscience in South America, so it's easier to do media from the left, right? It's
Right.
more you have broader appeal like that.
Kicking
So
myself for not paying more attention in Spanish class, or even
yeah.
paying more attention to my extended family, and learning to speak with them in their language. Damn, because that would have been the opportunity there for me, right there.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'll see. I'll let other people call in. I'll shoot you a message on Twitter with the people that I think would be good.
All right, awesome. Thanks,
All
appreciate
right,
that.
all right, man.
And thanks for the
Thanks for
heads
taking my
up.
call.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for calling and giving me that information. I'm looking forward to just reading about it, honestly. All right, cool. Take care. Always a
All
pleasure
right, you
talking
too.
with you, Dr.
Bye.
Gus. Um, Remember, the phone line is simply open Skype, search Doomed Live as one word, and I'll pick up your call. Oh, we got another caller right now already. Let me take this call. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Matt, it's Tony from Texas.
Hey, Tony from Texas. I feel like I don't even need to ask you anymore, but let me just ask you one more time. Can I bring your feed up in your video feed up in the stream?
Sure do.
All right. So, how are you doing, Tony?
Doing all right. A little tired, but good. Otherwise, I'll give you 3 guesses as to what I'm calling in about, and the first 2 don't count.
Oh, I don't need three guesses, right? I need one, and it's gonna be, hey Matt, where are those photo angles for the intro for the new intro for Doomed that you specifically asked me to make, Matt? You asked me to do this, Matt, and you're not giving me the material I need to do it. I know. I'm really bad. I'm doing.
It's okay.
I'm so bad. I'm not even giving like when I like I don't have an excuse anymore. Like there's no excuses for it. It is what it is at this point. I will get it to you. I also know there are people still waiting for their stickers, which I gotta get to. Yes, there you go. Yes, there you go.
Kind of tangentially related, because I created a Spotify account just to like uprate you on Spotify for that sticker.
Oh, for the sticker specifically.
For the sticker, yeah.
Okay, all right. All right, I see where you're going. I thought you were going to say, Matt, I love the show so much I had to create a Spotify account. But instead, you're going, I created the Spotify account for my freebie. Where is it?
No. Well, I was just gonna ask, do I need to create a Twitter to message you about stuff?
Oh, you're not on Twitter?
Would that make life easier on you?
Oh, about the other stuff? Yeah, I think Discord DMs is not the best way to go about that. But for the for the sticker, no, I gotta get that to you. There's nothing to do with you doing anything.
Oh no. I just but other if I got questions or I need to shout at you, Twitter's the one where you actually get those notifications.
Yes.
Then for your sake, Matt, I will finally, after all of these years, create a Twitter account.
There we go.
Just to DM you.
And I also probably should create a email account specifically for this. Like I don't mind giving out my email account that I use for everything, but it's clear to me that it's becoming too much email in one account.
Right.
So I should probably create an email specifically for the podcast and stuff. Yes.
Yeah. And then there was another actual thing that I was just thank you for having Molly on again. She's just
I'm a big fan. The only reason I haven't had her on more is one of 2 reasons. I do like to try to spread out the guests, even with the regulars, so it's not like back to back. Also, sometimes I sort of don't want to overstep because there is, when it comes to the regular faces who come on the show, there is a boundary of asking them to come on like how you would ask a regular guest, and then crossing into co-host pay me territory. Which if I had the funds to do that, honestly, Molly would probably be one of the first people that come to mind to do that.
Patreon.com/Matt Bender.
There you go. Yeah, but I don't yet have those funds. But yeah, if you want to see regulars like that, definitely, not even joking, patreon.com/Matt Bender. That'll definitely help us get there.
And then after you're done signing up for $10 a month there,
I don't even ask for 10.
patreon.com/Matt.
I asked for 5.
I'm asking the audience to do 10.
All right.
I was gonna, but and that extra $5 is going to Molly now. Sorry.
No, that's fine. No, that's why I had her specifically mention the Patreon. I spread that love to all my faves who come on either show or whose content I just enjoy in general. Yeah.
And good showing as always on the majority report today. That was a fun Thursday.
Yeah, it was I felt like it was especially spirited. That's what guess what happens when you keep the three of us away from each other for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
We get back together and the crew is back and we're feeling extra boisterous. I don't know.
and and you really nailed it with Tim Pool, like calling Tim Pool out on his classification of that song he did as it was not emo. That was not.
Yeah, like I don't listen.
It's not an emo
I don't
song
want to even get into the dunking on the music itself because
itself.
other people do that, and you know what? I don't even like really. Music is a taste for everybody, So I mean, I could to give you my personal opinion on it, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But in terms of accurately describing your genre of music, and now I understand there are bands and musical styles that sort of straddle multiple genres, and that's always an interesting discussion and things to keep in mind. A band that I like, for example, is 100 Gex, and they certainly straddle multiple genres. This Tim Pool song is not one of those examples. It is a fairly straightforward, as Kowalski puts that style of music in general. It's divorced dad rock. And that's exactly what he made. Emo is not sad rock and roll. Making a sad rock song does not mean you made emo music. Emo is a distinct genre with its own special requirements in terms of the styling of the music, the composition of it, how it sounds, the vocal stylings. It is not just rock and roll, but sad.
Right. It's yeah. Very, very, very agreed. And yeah, like if I had just heard the song without knowing who was playing it or seeing the video, I would have probably thought it was like a new Bo Burnham track lambasting divorced dad rock. Like that's exactly the vibe that I got from it.
Yeah,
But
the funny thing is just that tweet where he called it emo music. That's the part that bothered me. But the second part of it, where it's like showing that we don't have to do corporate mainstream music. It's literally that style of rock in present day is the most corporatized mainstream style of rock and roll there is. It is what's constantly being played on every alternative rock station across the country. It is the style of music that is the most sanitized for corporate radio.
yeah, well, I mean, claiming to be anti-establishment while being firmly establishment is kind of Tim Pool's wheelhouse.
But also, like, when it comes to music, establishment doesn't just mean like ideology or what you sing about. It's literally like the style of music as well.
Right.
Like it's not
Yeah.
like if you play like I don't know, like New York hardcore, you're probably not being played on the radio. Even alternative rock stations aren't going to play your music.
Right.
You could even be singing about whatever, the most left-wing lyrics, the most right-wing lyrics. No, the music itself is not sanitized for corporate radio.
Right. Right. Absolutely. Well, Matt, I'll let some other callers get on. Thank you for taking my call, and I look forward to seeing your mug from all the different angles.
I'll have to get it to you. I'm gonna sit down and just do quick pictures. I'm not gonna you're just using it for the model, right? You're not gonna actually
Right.
if it's a particularly bad photo of me, no one can tell I have a bad hair day or something because you're not gonna
No,
be
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Let me
yeah.
just get you
What's most important is really just like getting
the facial
getting
structure.
good. Yeah.
Right.
That's the important thing.
And it's not like I'm gonna wake up and my skull is gonna be shaped differently one day.
Exactly, because I'm giving you your classic due anyway
Right.
for the haircut.
Right. 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 I feel like it's grown into the perfect. Right now, it's almost there, the perfect length. There's a moment where like a month span where it's perfect, and then it gets too long, and then I cut it and it's too short, and then about a couple months later, it then grows back to that perfect length, but then it only lasts again for another month or two.
What's a haircut?
Yeah. Right. Right. There you go. Uh,
Good chatting, Matt. I'll talk to you soon.
Take care, Tony.
Peace.
All right, let's go. Oh, had 3, 4, 5 callers, and they all just dropped. Nope. Hey, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh wow! Looks like I timed that one just right. What's up, Matt?
Everyone hung up, including you, because I saw your face for a second, and then you were the first to call back. So here you are. Hello, Dave from Jamaica. How are you?
Hello, Matt Binder. How have you been? I hope you had a restful couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, not restful. The week that was supposed to be the restful week is the week that I dropped my phone in the bottom of a 20-foot deep creek upstate. So that was not a fun, restful week. And then last week was actually a lot of fun. I enjoyed it immensely. But it was not restful, and that was my mom taking her grandkids and also her children to Disney World.
Oh.
People noticed in the chat that apparently my content this week on both Doomed and Scam Economy has been extra Disneyfied. I'm constantly making Disney references, apparently.
Hey, man, it's a small world.
Very good.
Well, I've been fooling around with these, what you call it now, the new rage now, having AI draw crap for you. And it ain't that simple.
I gotta say, I think it's cool. I do think it's cool. Is it gonna replace like hiring artists and like their work? No. Is it going to help people who don't have that talent to be able to create like extremely detailed and close rough ideas of what they want, which I think will greatly help artists give their clients exactly what they want. I do think that. And you know what? I also think maybe some people will be able to use it to get exactly what they want if it's not too intricate. And, any sort of barrier for people to be able to be creative being like sort of torn down. I'm a fan of that. I mean, you could say the same for like filmmaking and how like digital film changed the game there, allowed more people to be able to create their own movies, and I'm all for that. Like, we should not be living in a world where only people who could afford the mass amount of like actual physical analog film could create their own movies. Like that sucked. I'm all into
No,
it.
I'm pro it because right now I'm pretty sure I'm giving away the game because I know a lot of the chatters might jump on this idea. Remember the photo you took with Master Pool when you went to his studio, and then it was the wide shot with the mic and stuff like that. I'm just saying, chatters, you have your inspiration. See what you could get from that.
Oh, right. Oh, hold on. There's a few people in the chat making points about the. Let me see. Sharif's Crew TV says AI is trained on human labor. That labor should be compensated. And Mars Falk, Andrew Kenway says the problem with AI drawings is they're not AI drawings. They have a pool of other artists' work they use without permissions to aggregate an image. They're obviously, yes, because these AI algorithms and whatever they're doing are learning from all the art it intakes on the internet. Now it is intaking a lot of different styles and art, and here's my opinion on that. Changed, like, if I was to actually take someone's photograph or whatever and completely transform it using it as the basis, though,
That would be your work.
that would be considered transformative work, and it's your work then. If the AI artwork is doing enough to those images, I think it's totally fair game, and that's okay. Does each AI, depending on which company is creating, because I know there's a number of different AI art platforms right now coming out. It's like the new big thing. Is it going to do that every time? And is it dependent on each platform? Yes. And no, it's not going to do that every time. And yes, it depends on each platform. So, like, I would say be careful with how you use it. And those platforms should definitely continue to make sure that each piece that's put out there is as transformative as possible. And there should be legal ramifications if they don't do that.
I'll put it like this. Remember all those memes we laugh at? I'm pretty sure the audience have seen, like, the folks who splice in scenes from Breaking Bad into other movies or genres, whether it be Mario Kart or the Avengers. I think that's transformative enough. So, I tend to hold your view on it. If you're taking from so many different things and then you're splicing it all together, it's transformative at that point.
Right.
But
I mean, a lot of what a lot of what I do is transformative in terms of playing videos and commentating on them. That's considered transformative. Now, if I didn't do that, if I couldn't do that, that would greatly change a lot of what I do. I think there is, and this is coming from someone who also has been an artist, creating music and creating films, and I do think, obviously you need to be careful, but also, I'm not. I have a more liberal take on this. I always felt that
but you almost forgot to say, kind of a side note. Great to see Molly on. She's always very informative, and I want to steal her shirt because I'm a big sucker for those Hawaiian shirts with images on it, and her always like filled with cool ass looking swords and knives and shit. I definitely wear that. It's pretty cool stuff. But I guess I think I'm going to end with this one, and I think you said you want Mr. Tokyo Hans to give you more detail on it. But I am absolutely shocked at how the assassination of Abe has played out. Like most times,
go ahead. Yeah.
Party that the guy gets lionized, but in this case, everybody's like, you know what? He kind of sucks. I kind of see where the assassin was coming from. So I've never seen that happen in my life.
Like the country was like turning against giving him the state funeral, even though I think they are or they did. And then his political party came out and said they were cutting all ties with that Unification Church. Yeah. I mean, holy shit. I mean, talk about accomplishing your goal. That guy certainly hit every goal he wanted.
Evidently had the model. You don't you keep it simple. You murder the guy with a fallout gun, and then the people will see. But jokes aside, I think maybe it's because of how I'm not that big into Japanese politics or news, but something tells me that Abe might have been not as popular as the foreign press makes him out to be in Japan. I think he might. I might not speak Japanese, but something tells me people didn't really like him. That's just my gut feeling.
Maybe, that's probably part of it. Yeah, I mean, it is very bizarre how that ended up turning out.
I'm trying to imagine a similar scenario. Like, let's say a kid whose mom got scammed at Trump U assassinated Trump, would it have played out the same way? I don't know.
Right, and to be
If it
completely
kept it
clear
that
again, completely hypothetical, fictional scenario to compare.
Yes, this is completely in Minecraft. We're talking about
Yes.
Minecraft. Minecraft.
No one should do anything like that. Regardless
No, that-
of what happened in Japan, no one should take these sort of things into their own hands and get violent, or just making it as clear as possible. But yes, it is a situation that I don't think would be able to be.
I think it's unique. Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
really see. I don't see like. But then again,
Can't be replicated.
can't be replicated. But I think from looking at American politics, it seems Republicans are, from their messaging, are busy setting themselves on fire. I mean, usually they're very good at bullshitting doing the I'm the common man shtick. But of recent, they've been decided to hold on to the elite asshole thing and thinking it's winning because, like, we see Sarah Palin getting clapped. We see Oz. I think Dr. Oz's campaign is a kind of exemplification of that thing, right? This elite thing where it's so out of touch, and I think, like, when I hear them complaining about student loans, in my back of my mind, I'm saying you can keep that messaging because it's going to cause you to lose, because it's so divorced from reality of who are the folks who actually take out student loans. Like, same trade school folks I know have student loans from their trade schools that they have to pay off, and so it's and then the constant argument, like, these guys are stealing from you by getting their measly 10K knocked off. I don't think it's working, but I don't know if they know what to do about it because they're still flailing around. It's very interesting to watch. I think they have no messaging for it.
Yeah.
What's your take on it?
No, they don't. Like, how do you? I mean, will you be able to use this line of rhetoric for your own base? Sure, but that's not going to get you exactly what you're hoping it's going to. Are you going to convince people who literally are having $10,000 of their student debt at the very least being forgiven? You're not going to convince them, and I think they will. I think they really don't get how many people are in this situation.
I
Because
don't even think most of their base.
it's a non-winning argument, because the fact of the matter is, a lot of people have student debt. A lot of people, and if you don't, you know somebody who does. Whether it's a child, a grandchild, another family member, or a friend, and you will hear from them how much this is helping them. And how do you?
I don't even know people who have more than 10 grand and they're grateful for they have more than 10 grand of debt and they're grateful for even the 10 that they get shaved off of it, because at least the interest is not killing them as it was before.
Right.
Because I think they make the tweak to adapt to, so there's some light at the end of the tunnel. I don't want to give the Republicans any advice, because I'm glad watching them hoist themselves on their own petard.
Dave, you can give them the greatest idea in the world to help them out. Something tells me they're going to be a little hesitant to accept advice from a guy who goes by the name Dave from Jamaica.
That is true. That is true.
You could solve all their problems. You could say, guys, in this box is the answer to all your problems. You'll win every election from this point forward. And they'll look at you sideways and go, "Excuse me? Dave from Jamaica? No thanks. No thanks."
Come up to the Republican planning session and be like, "Hey, all right, hear me out, guys. Remember that thing called, the Soviet Union? Why don't we try that? Just call it that." So you're going to have to dump all these rich people off of the. Trust me, it'll work. It'll work. Well, but Anyway, I'm going to keep it short because I have a little timer ticking so other callers can get in, as I promised. Reformed Dave. So great talking with you, Matt. And I'll be watching in the chat.
All right. Always a pleasure when you call in, Dave. Take care. Oh, I can't hang up on you.
Oh, no. I
Oh,
couldn't
here we
click
go.
the
I
window.
got it. Oh, whoops. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello?
All right. Always a pleasure when you call in, Dave.
Oh, you got to
Take
turn
care.
down the feed. You're on the air.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, hi. I'm Aaron. I'm calling from Kansas. Sorry, I got discombobulated there for a second. I got a fantasy football thing going on at the same time.
Oh no, don't worry about it. Can I bring your video feed up on the stream?
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. Just move your camera back a little if you can, so I can see your face. There we go. Perfect. So, Aaron from Kansas, you said, right?
Okay. Yeah. We talked actually, I think it was in May, because I wanted to talk about, we had that ballot measure here in Kansas about the keeping the right for abortion in the state.
I remember.
And,
yes.
The good guys won, obviously, but I didn't know if you were aware of this, or I just wanted to kind of update. There's a little update on the situation. So during the actual midterms, some fucking legislator here is putting this. This is going to be on the ballot. It says Kansas legislative veto or suspension of executive agency regulations amendment 2022. And it's basically, from what I can understand by reading this on the website, is that if the Republican nominee ends up winning, that will basically give them the right to take away that constitutional right to choose. So it's like they didn't accept the fucking results. Sorry for cursing so much. I have a daughter that's 12 and she's going to be an adult in a short few years, and this stuff's really bothering me. So yeah.
No, I mean, it
says who supports and opposes the amendment, and support is all of the Republican. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would certainly. I mean, I totally get why you would be up. Yeah, it's.
But I just wanted to I don't know, spread the word because I don't see a lot of people talking about that here.
Right. So. Can you tell me a little bit more about where we're at here?
We're kind of lagging.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hello? Do you hear me? Uh-oh. Do you hear me? Uh-oh, I think you froze. All right. If you want to call back in, yeah, you froze. Oh, I was looking forward to asking a bit more. I'll take this call now. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh my God. Hello.
Yes. Hello?
Hello. Who is this?
Can you see who I am?
I can.
What is going on?
What do you mean? Hello?
Hello?
Hello? What? Do people not hear me right now? What is happening? What is going on? Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Was
Okay,
I just able to usurp this other guy's call?
I think you. Well, I did take your call first, and then you hung up, or we got disconnected, and then I just clicked the next call that came in, and his call dropped too, and so yours was the next one up.
Oh, so you do actually have a lineup of what calls are coming in, and it's not entirely true that it's just first come, first serve, isn't it? There's definitely some selection going on.
Right.
Yeah. I don't want to accuse you of anything. Sorry, I obviously nobody can hear me. I got to bring the mic up. So how's it been going?
Everything's going good. How about you?
I wanted to call in to congratulate you on completing my test of knowing the correct type of emo music.
Oh, yes?
Yes, yes, and I know that Tony already brought this up to congratulate you on, but more specifically, I was so glad to hear you on that guy's show. The majority report, right? That you immediately went to like Rites of Spring or whatever instead of the sort of to late 90s, early 2000s wave of what they would call emo music.
Oh, you enjoyed that?
I enjoyed that because that was something that people, even though all the, like if you're talking Texas is the Reason and Rites of Spring, those bands sound nothing alike.
Yeah, right, but I mean, they're all.
Texas might sound they might sound a little bit more like Sunny Day Real Estate or something. And then there's this later thing, which is some kind of like post hardcore of like bands like Thursday and stuff that then I think leads into that screamo thing that happened in the early 2000s. And it's you know, did you read one of those books?
What books?
I don't know. There were like books about like our band could be your life or something like that.
No, I didn't.
Oh well, good for you. I guess that I'm a little bit younger than you. I wasn't around. In 1994, I was breastfeeding.
See, in New York here, so I was into the very early 2000s scene that came out of Long Island and got into the style of music, the genre of music very quickly.
Right on. So Long Island, Thursday was from New York, right? Not Long Island. I don't know.
Thursday was from New Jersey.
New Jersey, yeah. There was a big
Taking Back
Jersey.
Sunday and Brand New Long Island.
And what was that other
Bayside,
band?
Long
Ostrich-sized and stuff.
Oh, Brand New, yeah, because the singer was, not
Are they not
me
good?
too'd. Me too'd.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll remember not to talk about that in the future. But I did want to give a little bit of defense to Tim Pool because people often criticize his hat, which is the exact same hat that I'm wearing right now. Of course.
Oh wait, you're actually wearing his hat? How did you get your hands on that?
No, I'm not wearing his hat. That's insane. You think I'm just going to steal a man's hat? First of all, it probably wouldn't fit. I'm not like Tony out there measuring people's skulls, which is very, I don't know about that, but I've heard that is not real science. And also, you should not shave your skull no matter how much it grows. You keep your skull at the same length. But I'm wearing the same type of hat, and that there's a reason for it. It is because this are useful for various things, which I will get into. But please interrupt me if you have any questions about what I'm talking about.
No, I'm enjoying this conversation that's spanning many topics.
This is a conversation?
I mean, that's what happens when you're talking with people, right?
I like to think of it as a monologue with...
oh, excuse me. I'll shut my mouth.
Yeah. I mean, hecklers are expected to some degree, but you gotta know when to... You're crossing the line a little bit. So like I wanted to do like the crypto update or whatever, and I'm not gonna try and like pretend that things are growing as great as I wanted them to be. And you were talking about this is where the hack comes in. 1 second. Like, if you could measure how much money I made out of the hat, or not the hat, the crypto, it would be like this much. I took the measuring tape out of my hat. And then watch this. As the summer goes, it's like this. Isn't that awful? What else? And I have one more thing. No. I'm sorry. I have to do one thing before I let you go. I have to read my notes. Or I have a sponsor. Because of the crypto crash, I have a sponsor I have to read off. And I did tell them that they're sponsoring your show. So.
Oh, yeah?
You'll have to deal with the legal end of that and then get the money to me. But, okay, I'll do this. God damn it. 1 second.
All right.
Okay, yeah. Here we go. Matreon.com. The world's first subscription-based mattress company. Every month, have a new mattress delivered to your door. Sign up now with the code MATT. I'm sorry, can I restart this? I feel like
Go ahead, sure.
Matreon.com. Sorry. Matreon.com. The world's first subscription-based mattress delivery service. Every month, have a new mattress delivered to your house. Enter the code MATT for 4% off at checkout. Go to www.bit.ly/XX00UX41IILZ246321 IMPD 174. Sorry about that, but we need to get the finances.
Well, there you go. Oh, that's.
If those kids are ever going to get out of Anyway,
thank
it's
you,
been great talking to
Cameron.
you.
Always a pleasure. Thank you so
Make
much.
those shirts.
Yes, I got to, right? Those are the.
You gotta make those shirts. Gotta make those shirts.
Yes.
Put the shirts on people's backs. People need shirts to wear to the mall and to the disco. Good night.
Have a good night, Cameron. Take care. I feel like Cameron was on point. I'm feeling a bit rusty in my straight man role. I'm feeling a bit rusty in general, actually, on the live streams. I've never taken this long off. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello?
Hello, how are you doing? Can you hear me?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fine, thank you. This is Domingo. Remember
Hey,
me?
Domingo. Yes, I do, and I need to get back to your DMs. I'm so behind
Oh, no, no worries.
I gotta get
No
you
worries.
on the episode. So what would you like to talk about?
Yeah, there's a whole lot of things to talk about. And I understand if you're just getting back from vacation and you gotta get through the backlog, that's fine, you know. No worries, no hurry. There's always going to be stuff to talk about in the crypto world and in El Salvador. So just wanted to, I wanted to keep the call brief, but I wanted to point to you something that happened over the weekend that is just hilarious. So there was this event in Spain, in Madrid, that was called the Metaverse Day, and from Mundo Crypto. It was an event in Spanish. What's noteworthy about this event? Well, the whole live stream is on YouTube, but it's about 8 hours long. It's insufferable. I honestly couldn't get through it with a gallon of whiskey. Luckily for me, a lawyer in Twitter, a Spanish lawyer, live tweeted the event, and there was some hilarity. Highlights: Brock Pierce was there. Also, and this is the most hilarious and at the same time sad part. A group of Salvadoran congressmen were there, and boy, did they screw up in a way that made them look like, well, even more silly, I guess. So, how did they mess up? Well, they had this very cult-like chanting, saying like, "Oh, everyone, stand up, put your hand on your chest. Let's make like a promise." And the promise was that some made the public swear, "I am going to visit El Salvador and spend my Bitcoin there." Totally an occult, right?
Wow.
Yeah, but that's the beginning of it, because at some point another congressman was talking, and he was saying something like, "Oh, El Salvador has plenty of land," and or something to that effect. But he messed up and said in the live stream, and didn't really correct himself, "Oh, we have 21 square kilometers, which is somewhere around 15 square miles," which is hilarious because it's actually 21,000. It's a tiny country, but it's not that tiny.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
And then Bukele's cousin showed up, and that was a highlight because they were like, "Oh, damn it, I forgot his name too, but his last name is Bukele." But anyway, they were like, "Oh, here comes whoever Bukele. Let's stand up and give him a standing ovation," and nobody stood up.
Is there video of this?
Yeah, there is. It's 8 hours long, but
I
will.
I will scrub through that video to find that moment.
Oh yeah, I'll try to get you a timestamp so that you don't have to suffer through the whole thing. But finally, there was a metaverse demonstration.
What was the name? What was the name of this event again?
Metaverse Day in Mundo Crypto.
All right. You know what? Gotta do an episode on this. It sounds like everything you're giving me is gold.
Yeah. So I have yet to completely see the El Salvador portion, which is like 20 or so minutes. But I did see the highlights, and boy, it's just crazy. So after a while, they started like announcing that there was going to be this metaverse demonstration. And what do you think happened at the metaverse demonstration? Just start open question. Right?
Ooh, there's a lot of things that could have happened. Let me think. Something definitely went wrong. I'm trying to think of the many different ways this could have gone wrong. But go ahead.
Yeah, so they have people with like VR headsets on the public, And it was like, okay, the demonstration's starting now, any minute now, any minute now. And then it's like, okay, scan this QR code and you'll be taken to the metaverse, which turned out to be a YouTube video, pre-rendered YouTube video, not
Oh
an
my
actual,
god.
like, not an actual demo or not an actual thing, just a pre-rendered YouTube video that looks like everything else that's being around in the metaverse. So just crappy 3D models and all that, and they had an error. Even they have a problem even with a YouTube video. So it's like, oh man, sure the metaverse is going great.
It's first of all, I hate this whole like rebranding of it as the metaverse. I mean, this sort of thing has existed for a very long time. Like Second Life, all these other like even The Sims in some ways. Um, but because Facebook decided to call it the metaverse, everyone's got to act like it's something new.
Yeah, and I think the only thing that's keeping the metaverse marketing around is the promise that blockchain is somehow going to be involved in it. And let's get real, it is not going to work, at least not as intended. I guess there may be some sort of microtransactions, like you can buy stickers, you can buy clothes for your model, you can buy stuff, but you don't really need the blockchain for that. That stuff has been around for decades. It's been around since the 90s, to be honest.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay, yeah, and Second Life has better graphics than Zuckerberg's metaverse. So I don't really know what the
Oh,
selling
you mean
point
you
is.
don't like the 3D esque modeled renders of legless people? People who apparently Facebook doesn't have this technology to create 3D model legs.
Yeah, they still need like $2 or $3 more billion in venture capital money to create the legs and the
Right.
feet.
Right. Yes, that's a technology we don't yet have, folks. We're sorry.
Yeah, you're going to have to buy an NFT to get pants.
Right. Unbelievable.
It's all very hilarious. I'm gonna send you the video on Twitter. I'll try to look for a timestamp so you don't have to suffer through all that being sober, because I can't really imagine watching that whole 8-hour live stream without being intoxicated. Otherwise, I would probably go crazy.
I'm actually really interested in checking out this whole thing now because it sounds like there's could possibly be a lot to pull from it. But yes, definitely send me the clip, or I mean the time code, and I'll start with that, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah. A lot of stuff is going on right now in El Salvador, but yeah, that's probably the most ridiculous I've seen this week. Things can always go more ridiculous. So
Yes.
yeah.
And I will get to your DMs, and we'll set something up to have you on the main show to talk about what's going on, the latest in El Salvador.
Oh yeah, there's always something.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that, really.
All right, Domingo. Thanks for the call. Always a pleasure. Talk to you again soon.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks for having me, and great show tonight. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Take care.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Oh, Aaron from before messaged me and said, sorry. Got a bad signal over here, I think. Just wanted to spread awareness that this is going to be on the ballot. Vote no is what we want still. So this is what he spoke about earlier. About the here, let's open this link and get all the details. Okay, so the Kansas Legislative Veto or Suspension of Executive Agency Regulations Amendment. And basically, The measure would amend the Kansas Constitution to add a section authorizing the Kansas State Legislature to provide bylaw for the revocation or suspension of any rule or regulation adopted by executive branch agencies or officers that have the force and effect of law. And vote no is what we want on this if you're in Kansas. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello? Hello.
Matt,
Hey!
it's Zach from East Tennessee, my brother. How are you?
Hey, Zach. How are you? What would you like to talk about? Hello?
Well,
Oh.
I just wanted to chit chat for like a second. I was wondering, this is not about crypto. It's about the student.
Oh, wait, you have your video on and your phone. Let me check the...
My bad.
No, that's all good. Should I put your
I'll
video
call
up?
you later, man. I'm sorry. I fucked up.
Are you sure? It's all right. Everything sounds good to me. All right. Oh,
I'm just not doing good. I didn't mean to have my video on. But
I could
just
shut
real
off the, I could
quickly.
shut off the video if you want. No problem. Go ahead. Let's talk.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I could hear you.
Okay. I just wanted to bring one thing up real quick. I just got back from a college football game, but I was reading where Ted Cruz says he's coming out and he's going to try to block the student debt relief.
Oh, have fun.
I was curious your thoughts if you had read that, what your thoughts of that might be.
I did not.
I'm gonna hang up.
I didn't.
I hadn't planned on being on video.
No, you're not on video anymore. You're not on video anymore. So don't worry about it. No one can see you.
Okay, man.
I did not see the details of that. I don't know what he could do. Whatever he's planning on doing, I'm sure will not be successful, because I mean, even the Democrats, even Biden and the Biden administration were hesitant about doing this. So they wouldn't be going forward with announcing this if this wasn't a sure thing that they know they could do. Oh, just lost your audio.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. Go ahead.
There's no way to block this.
I mean, I don't know. But I highly, if there is a way, I highly doubt it would be successful. And my guess is there's probably not a way, because I don't think they would have gone ahead with it and announced it if there was a way. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I thought it was kind of silly. It was more performative acting by Cruz and those. I am proud of for going with a little bit in calling. There's a lot of pearl clutching because he said semi-fascist, even though we've been getting called child communists for the last 30 years. So I hope it ramps up a little bit more on our.
Yeah, I mean, Biden all of a sudden has been having his moments, and from what I've heard, his speech tonight was another one of those moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you're not a huge Biden guy, but I'm neither. But I'm been pleasantly satisfied with the last couple of.
I've been pleasantly. Yeah, I agree. Credit where it's due when the time comes, for sure.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just see how it continues.
Okay. Well, I got so pissed at that Ted Cruz. I was just checking Twitter and I saw something like Ted Cruz plans to block.
Again, I don't know if there's anything he can do. I highly doubt it. But if there is, I don't think it's. I mean, again, they did not really want to do this for a long time. So the fact that they came out to do it means, I mean, they wouldn't have announced it if it was something that could be stopped by Ted Cruz, for example.
Well, it's just a typical, and it makes you wonder. Well, it doesn't make you wonder. It's typical right-wing citizenry. It's their leaders are just, they are wannabe actors and podcasters like Green and they're just wannabes. That they're like Hollywood rejects, and living here in East Tennessee, I can see like these people, they like getting kicked in the teeth, proverbially. They enjoy it as long as people take and accept getting kicked in the teeth, and it's just so crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like we've said it many times, it's all it's just I'm in the park of Lowe's here, and there's 3 or 4 huge trucks with there's a Gadsden flag. There's one that says Joe and the Ho. I mean, this is just it's all they have.
I see what.
Joe and the Ho. So, anyways, I appreciate all your hard work and for the good program, as the kids say. All right.
Thank you, and I always appreciate when
Thanks,
you call
buddy.
in. No, thank you. Have a great
All right,
night.
man. Check you later.
Bye.
Sorry for the technical difficulties.
No, there was no technical difficulties. It's all good. It's all good.
I was surprised. See you, man.
Peace.
Bye, guys.
All right. Once again, if you'd like to call into the show, I saw some people ask, just fire up Skype. And once you fire up Skype, search Doomed Live. One word, Doomed Live. And that's how you call in. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Hi. Hello? Uh-oh, you just froze on me. Try calling. Let me hang up on you. Call right back in. I don't know what's going on with Skype tonight. I think it might be something going on for some people. But it should work on a second try. Try calling back in right now. Or I could even just try calling you back. Here we go. Hello?
Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you fine. I don't know if it's my connection or not.
No, I don't know what's been going on, but it sounds good to me right now. Can I bring up your video on the feed?
Yeah.
Cool. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mariana from sorry. The Twin Cities.
Hey, Mariana. I recognize you. It was a lot of fun talking last time. What are we going to talk about this time, today?
Yeah, I don't know if I mean, I wanted to call in and talk a little about the importance of the student cancellation debt thing. I don't know if I have anything particularly insightful to say.
No, you don't need to listen. If you call in if you got something interesting or different, or if you just want to share an opinion. This is what it's for. So go ahead. Yeah, whatever you like to say about it.
Yeah. So I was going to say something that I get why maybe about it more is because this isn't really a political thing so much as personal, but for me personally, the student cancellation debt thing is significant, not just because a lot of people have debt to private debtors, but some people who parents help them with college and they're able to pay for some of it. That's basically the only way I got to go to college at all, even though I got probably 2/3 of it paid for by scholarship is.
Oh, look at you, so smart.
It's still expensive, so not a genius, but
Hey, just calling in to let everyone know about my scholarships.
even when it comes to like that is not owed to a private third party or even the state, for me it's super important because my parents took out a lot of student loans, and just to be like, I guess a personal thing, it weighed on me very heavily, feeling like I was bringing my parents down and that they couldn't retire because of my student debt, and it's also kind of used as like a method of control. Like whenever I take a job, my parents would be like, oh, well, like, you're not making enough to pay off your student debt, or you can't move out, or you can't go on a trip because you owe us. And that's something that isn't really seen as like actual debt, but for a lot of people it is, because like you have some fealty to your parents a lot of times.
Wait, hold on. Did you say you felt like this, or your parents said this to you?
Well, I mean both.
Damn! Wow. There's some hardcore strict
Yeah,
parents.
I
it
mean,
sounds like.
I almost didn't graduate college because of this sort of like familial debt.
Right.
And I didn't want to have to pay that, but I
Right.
realized it was almost like too late. So yeah, this is like, I don't know, huge for a lot of people, even though it's not enough. And I don't really like giving credit to people. I can definitely see like when people say don't be happy because it's not good enough. I mean, I don't think you really need to control how people react personally. Like, people are allowed to be happy about it while acknowledging it's insufficient and doesn't fit or it doesn't solve the core problem.
Right. No, yeah. I mean, listen, I think what you mentioned is absolutely on point for a lot of people. I mean, I know I was in the same situation where without my parents, I wouldn't have been able to attend the school I wanted to go to the point where when there was a time where it was a problem and I was going to not go to school, I was just like, oh, if it's okay. I'll just, pause everything. And my parents immediately took out whatever they needed to make sure that didn't happen. And would it have been? It could have gone either way, I guess. And who knows what would have happened. Uh, so I totally understand that sort of feeling of being indebted to people who helped you pay for your schooling without having that official direct loan debt with like a federal loan or a private loan. So I totally get that feeling because I was in that same boat. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it is extremely helpful to people that they're going to do this. And if you don't like it, because I don't know, you feel like you are being wronged because you're not getting a piece of that pie, then I sincerely think you should reconsider your entire worldview. And maybe even, quite frankly, go fuck yourself. I mean, I don't know what else to say to these people. Like, every individual has without a doubt benefited in some way from some program. Even the very wealthy has benefited more than anybody with all the various subsidies their industries get, or their tax cuts and tax breaks, or whatever they take advantage of. The various different government programs or grants, they know how to game the system and get these multi-million-dollar fundings from the government. No one knows how to, suck the government teat better than the most wealthy in this country. So the idea that these people haven't benefited is bullshit. Anyone who's complaining because you didn't go to college for this, if you didn't go to college because of the cost, you should be cheering this on, because that means that your children, who quite frankly would like to go to college and couldn't because of the cost, just like you, will be able to look towards a future where, hey, clearly the government is aware that this is an issue and something's going to be done about it, starting with the people who currently have this debt. You should be happy because I think things will hopefully be better for your children when it comes time for them to decide whether they can afford college. I mean, this is I don't understand the type of person who could be bothered by this. I just don't get it. And like I said earlier, like everyone, what would you say?
No, keep going.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, everyone knows somebody who's in this situation. Like, if you know someone went to college in, like, literally the past, like, I don't know, 30, 40 years, maybe even more. I don't know when this got really bad. But I think 30 is way too short, actually. Probably maybe even 40, 50 years. I mean, if you know someone who went to college in the past 30, 40 years, you know someone who's struggling with this. And I mean, wouldn't you want, at the very least, someone you know to be helped out in this way? I mean, it's not like they got a free ride if you're one of those people who's like, oh, people, they've been paying. They've been paying. They're just getting some help across the finish line here. Like, and if someone did only have $10,000 in loans and they're getting it all forgiven, then good for them too.
Yeah, I think interesting. A lot of people, I've realized, really do base their politics off of like what benefits them personally. Because I remember hearing about student loan forgiveness. I, for one, like didn't want, as long as my debt was frozen, I didn't want to pay it. Because one, I don't make that much money, and I was holding on to the hope that maybe
Wait,
student debt would.
you mean your college education didn't land you a 6-figure job right out of school?
I got a janitor job half a year later.
Yeah, I mean, I graduated out of college right into the 2008 financial crash and the recession. So I totally get it. And even if there wasn't that, the situation for people straight out of college is ridiculous. The situation for people, geez, how many years have I been? 15 years out of college is also ridiculous. I mean, it doesn't like get that much better for everybody. Some people get lucky and land a nice, good job. But even they will find themselves struggling if there is one health crisis or emergency that happens to them or their family. I mean, the whole system is so fucked and messed up.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just something that I really do wonder if this is going to drive out young people to vote more. It really would. Like, I don't think there's that many issues that would push this as much as this. And as much as I'm not a Democrat, and I'm not really someone who pushes people to vote, I just see this being like very smart strategically.
Oh
Because
yeah.
people who are against this are not going to vote for, they weren't Democrats who were going to vote for Republicans.
Right.
So,
I mean, if you are, I mean, if you are someone who's looking for a reason to vote for the Democratic Party, and you're one of the many people out there who just had $10,000 in your student loans forgiven, or even more in some cases, as I learned, Pell Grant recipients got like 20,000 forgiven. You should. I mean, again, I'm not gonna force it on anyone. I think that's a bad way to even reach that goal of getting people out to vote, accomplishing that goal, I should say. But if you got that loan money forgiven, you need to understand that it wouldn't have happened if the Democrats weren't in office, if they weren't in the White House, if they weren't, in the House, if they weren't in the Senate. Yes, they suck in a lot of ways, but you got one party that will throw you guys a bone every now and then, and you got one party that wants to completely fuck your shit up 24/7. What party do you vote for? The party that's going to throw you that bone, or the party that wants your life to be ruined and miserable, and basically you become I don't know, a peon in a feudal system or something? Like, I think it's quite clear. Continue to complain, continue to push, continue to fight them and primary them with better candidates. But at the end of the day, if it's Democrat versus Republican, I don't see how the choice is hard, to be quite frank.
yeah. I have no faith in the Democrats, but I do think it's something where it's like, this is seriously one of the first times I've actually seen them fight on anything, which is kind of disturbing considering how long I've politically aware. But this is like one of the only things I can remember them actually standing for anything in any capacity.
And this is something that Biden was just able to do. Like, it wasn't a policy that had to be fought in Congress with, bills being rewritten and amendments being added and floor fights back and forth and it going to the House and then another one going to the Senate and then the Senate having to vote on the House bill and all this random bullshit. Biden was just able to do it. I mean, we need more of that. We need more of using the power that you have to the absolute fullest and just doing things that will help people. I don't understand how it's even a question or even a difficult decision. I mean, in fact, you bring up the point that like a lot of people just vote for things that or support things that materialistically directly benefit them. And I mean, of course, it's a sad, truth. But yes, that's what a lot of people decide to support or not. So that's an argument to me for universal sort of programs where everybody gets an education, a higher education if they want. No need to worry about debt. Everyone gets some sort of bailout when something happens, like the COVID-19. Like, that was a hugely successful program. The checks, it wasn't enough. They needed to give out way more, but the fact that they basically cut a check to everybody, I mean, who could complain? Everyone got a check. More universal programs.
Yep, I agree. Well, I didn't have a ton to say, but I want to ask you some hardcore X, if you have any. Because last time I said I was going to call and talk about music a bit, and I didn't have anything to call about. Call for weeks.
All right, so what did you ask? I'm sorry, you cut out for a second. You want some recommendations?
Yeah. Okay, so contemporary acts and like a lot of metallic hard New York. I really like a lot of the vegan straight edge bands just because a lot of them have that, they kind of have a similar sound.
Okay, do you like...
So I don't...
Okay, so let me try to think. You familiar with Darkest Hour?
I'm writing them down.
All right, Darkest Hour is a good one. If you like that style of music. My favorite, probably newer hardcore band. I mean, they're not so new anymore, but I guess genre-wise, they can be considered newer. Set Your Goals. Who else can I recommend to you?
You can do like older ones. I'm saying I mostly listen to interested in like if you have some 90s metallic hardcore.
Well, I think these guys are early 2000s, but they certainly have that feel. You familiar with Sworn Enemy?
No.
Okay, Sworn Enemy. Trying to think. One second. All right, if you like really metallic hardcore, let's do. Oh my God, what were they called? I'm trying to think. Oh my God, give me a second. I have the lyric in my mind, but I can't remember the band's name. Dead to Fall.
Okay, I think I've heard of them.
Specifically, check out their song "Eternal Gates of Hell." That's a good one. Who else? Oh, Comeback Kid.
I love their newest record. Was so good.
I have to listen to that still, actually, because I was a fan.
I feel like I don't necessarily. That's not necessarily like sound, but it's so good.
I was a fan of their first singer, so it might take me some getting used to their newer singer.
It has a very like, I don't know. I've listened to their old emotional attachment from listening to them for so long. I think it's really what it is.
Yeah. Check out Folly, Folly. They're like a 90s, early 2000s, like New Jersey hardcore punk band. They were good. I'm trying to think what else to recommend you. Based on your see, I was never big into like metalcore. I mean, there were some bands that
That's
stood out.
the thing. I really like stuff that kind of like the line. Like I know. What was I gonna say?
I think
like,
you
a
might
lot of-
like Daughters. Check out.
I love.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I love listening. It's a little hard to recommend them, but
Yes.
they're one of my favorite bands.
Yes. I had a
love
feeling. I
Yeah.
I never got too into them, but I'm
Oh,
familiar.
I love noise and industrial music too. So the noisy stuff is great.
Sick of It All. That's a good old school
Yep.
New York hardcore band. You know, Agnostic Front.
Yep.
Madball. Bold. Bane. Gorilla Biscuits. Throwing out whatever I can think at you. Think of for you, I should say. Jeez. I think that's all I could think of off the top of my head right now. Yeah.
No, that's a lot. I love listening to music, but I'll check some of those out.
Oh,
'cause-
H2O. H2O. If you're into straight edge, H2O is like the premier straight edge hardcore band.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you, because like I said, I listen to a lot, but so many of them are new bands that I feel like I lack some of that, like, I like listening to some older bands to kind of get a feel of how the genre's progressed and like get a sense of history. And appreciate the recommendations. I just think it's cool to see like how trends move throughout music and stuff.
Right. Oh, I almost forgot my favorite, honestly, top 5 bands of all time. Good Clean Fun. Have you ever heard of them? Okay, check them out. They might be an acquired taste because they are a hardcore punk band, straight edge hardcore punk band that all their songs are like comedy songs about being straight edge and vegan. They're probably my favorite, top 5, probably my favorite hardcore band, top 5 all time. Yeah, definitely check out Good Clean Fun.
Okay. I will check back at some point in the future.
All right, sounds good. I look forward to hearing which one of those recommendations you liked best.
Okay.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.
Great call. Always a pleasure. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Man, now I want to go listen to Good Clean Fun. Some people might be familiar with them because they had a very internet hit in 2008 called the MySpace song. Hey, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi Matt, it's Rem from Baltimore. How you doing?
Hey, Rem. Good. How are you? Can I bring your video up on the feed?
Yeah.
Cool. Bring it up now. What would you
Sure.
talk about? Oh, what are we looking at here? What is this? Ferrets?
Yeah, good guess. Good
Oh,
call. I figured.
I saw those hammocks and I knew because I had a ferret myself.
Well,
You're
he's
making me.
kind of asleep.
You're already making me
But,
want to go get another ferret. Oh my god, I can't do it. I think they're my weak. They're the animal that's the weak spot for me. They do it for me. They get my. Oh my god, they're so cute. Gears going.
So I just figured Kowalski kind of failed on the cute animals. So I thought I'd try.
Right.
But
Do you have just
this
one?
one, Yeah, I told my partner to like maybe this guy needs a buddy because they're so happy and bounce around and
Oh, I wasn't telling you to get another one because I'm judging you having one. I was actually gonna say, man, king in his castle there, because that's a huge play area for just a single ferret, spoiled ferret there.
for sure. Maybe this guy needs a buddy because they're so.
Damn, I need to I need to without a doubt go get myself a ferret now.
I mean, this little guy is precious. He had a few siblings. They were kind of given up. My partner works at a veterinary place, so uh, just kind of had to. She had to take one in. She had to. This one, he can't walk very well. His back legs aren't doing too good, and he's deaf. He is completely deaf.
Ah. See, I have. Oh, I don't know
He
if
is.
I think I've mentioned this before. I have a tattoo for my ferret, which is actually a tattoo for all ferrets. Because if people don't know this, but if you are a domesticated ferret in the United States, which any ferret that's a pet is, there's no such thing as a wild ferret of this breed. Like the wild ferrets are completely different. It's like saying like a dog is a wolf. It's not the same thing. There's no such thing as these ferrets being in the wild. They can't exist in the wild. All domesticated ferrets in the United States come from, I believe, 2 or 3 farms in the U.S. It's a very small industry, and they do this thing where when they're spayed and descented, which they all are if they're coming from these farms, they get 2 black dots on their ear, one to show they were descented, tattooed on their ear, one to show they were descented and one to show they were spayed. I just thought it was really cool that my ferret had a tattoo. So I got the same tattoo my ferret had, which is the 2 dots to show that I too am spayed and descented. I'm not, but
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, that's for sure.
does your ferret have the 2 tattoos? Probably.
I'm not sure.
I'll
If they all
guarantee
seem
you.
to have
I'll
that,
guarantee you. I'll guarantee you.
That's an interesting. Where is your tattoo, little guy? His name is Elliot Page, by the way.
Ah, it should be. That's a great name. It should be on the upper inside of the ear, where the lobe would be. Oh wait, what's that right there? There you go. Yep, those are his or her tattoos right there. Yep.
He's a boy. We got confused, or someone got confused about.
I adopted my ferret off of Craigslist. I was told the ferret's name was Tabitha. I really liked that name for the ferret because it sounded like a mischievous, like witchy name, and my ferret was very mischievous. And so I continued to call my ferret Tabitha. Fast forward many, many years when he gets sick, and I take him to a specialized vet for the first time, because before that I would just take him to a local vet because everything was fine. But I took him to a specialized ferret vet when he got very sick to find out what the ferret issue is. And I am told for the first time that my Tabitha is actually a boy. So I continued to call him Tabitha because that was his name. But yeah, that's my story of my ferret Tabitha being called Tabitha.
And how long did you have this one? How did you pay?
Got him in 2007 or 8. And then, no, way before that, 2003 or 4. And then he passed away in 2009. So lived about, what is that? 5 or 6 years. People don't live very long, sadly.
I thought it was the opposite. I thought they lived a lot longer
No, they
than
don't.
people assumed.
No,
They
they
live as
don't.
long as dogs do.
No, they don't. They have a very because they're really fucked up animals because they from breeding and everything. They're not. There's a lot of there's like specific things that pretty. I remember this has been a while now, but I remember getting really into all the issues with my ferret because I was obsessed with trying to like solve his end of life issues. There's like 2 to 3 ferret specific diseases that pretty much every ferret will get, and they're gonna die from one of them, sadly. Like, because the breed is messed up. Like they can't exist in the wild. Look at their bodies. Like they can't like they wouldn't be able to exist. And you know humans messed up the breed through I guess
Right.
inbreeding and stuff. But ferret
Yeah,
ferret
that's what we do.
yep. They don't live very long. According to 5 to 10 years. Average lifespan is actually 5 to 7 years. The current record for oldest ferret is 14, which I mean, for a small dog, that wouldn't be considered. I mean, it'd be an elderly dog at 14, but small dogs could live to like 18, 19, and cats can live even longer, like 21, 22.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I don't think I've had a cat that long, but let's hope my favorite cat, my cat Daly's, I'm just hoping he lives a long time. I really, he's my buddy, that's for sure. But I think this one's growing on me. He's quite the character. This guy, he loves to play. He likes to bite your feet.
Yeah, people don't understand ferrets.
nibble
Honestly,
you, but
we're gonna end up being weird ferret people on this episode, but I don't care. Because I'm a weird ferret. Because I am a weird ferret person. People who do not have regular interaction with ferrets see them and think they're like, oh, it's like a hamster or it's like a guinea pig. No, no, it's literally
no.
like they have personalities and show affection just like a cat or dog do. They can play with you like a cat or dog. They are not anything like hamsters or guinea pigs or mice or any of those small mammals that people think they are.
They're
way more like
not
cats and
rodents.
dogs. Yes, they're way more like cats and dogs. I mean, they're part of the weasel family.
Weasel?
Yeah.
Yeah, the weasel family. For sure, for sure. You can definitely tell he's got a lot more intelligence than he lets on.
Yes, their bodies though. I love it. That's probably one of the reasons they're so cute. But man, we really screwed up with them, didn't we? Like they look at that. He could not exist in the wild. What would he do? Slip it all over the place.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of hardwood floors out there in the wild sometimes.
No, but literally, like their bodies are so long that it doesn't like it's too. It doesn't. They imagine a snake had 2 legs in front of them and 2 legs in the back, and they had to wobble around. I mean, that's what a ferret is basically.
No, for sure, for sure. But this little guy's back legs just aren't working the way they're supposed to, so he's a little struggling a bit.
Right.
Getting
And
around,
people don't realize this either. They are potty trained in terms of like they go in the corner of their cage. They literally turn around, back their little butts up into the corner of the cage, and they only go in the corner of the cage. So if you put whatever you want to put there, like bedding or whatever, or I mean, you put bedding on the entire bottom of the cage, at least I did. But if you put like specific, like easy to like change out at the corner of the cage, it's like having a litter box trained cat. Like they don't go on when my ferret would be outside the cage, he would literally bolt for his cage when he had to go to the bathroom. He only went outside the cage when he was sick, and even then, I would catch him trying to make it to his cage. They are completely like cats and dogs and nothing like the other mammals people think they are like.
Yeah, my partner's been wanting a ferret every time she sees one or people bring them in. But him and a few others were orphans, so my partner just had to take one. She just had to, and and then we got him a cage because he was just kind of living in the sunroom. He had an entire room to himself, but he just made a mess everywhere.
In New York City, they're banned.
Really?
Yes, it's been a long. There's actually a pretty infamous radio call between Rudy Giuliani when he was mayor, going insane at a ferret lover who called in to advocate for ferrets to be made legal in New York City. And he goes, I mean, if you like ferrets and you thought you already hated Rudy Giuliani and you're unaware of this phone call, you will hate him more than you thought it was possible after you listen to him completely shit on ferrets. It's amazing. And the reason they're banned in New York City is because apparently decades ago, some idiot kept their baby in the same room as their ferret who was out of its cage, and they left the room. And the ferret wanted to play and got excited, did the little ferret war dance, they call it, the thing that people saw, his little hop that your ferret just gave you before. And, they get excited like a cat does or like a dog does, and they accidentally scratch the baby's eye. And this made it to, I don't know, it became a big story or whatever at the time, and ferrets got banned in New York City. They are legal in the state. I could literally drive to Long Island and like 10 minutes to Long Island, and the Petcos there sell ferrets. The pet stores in New York City know that no one really listens to this law, so they actually do sell ferret stuff, like ferret food and toys and bedding and all that stuff at like New York City Petcos, but they cannot sell or you cannot adopt ferrets in New York City. And technically, if you're walking around with your ferret and you get caught, you can get them confiscated.
Well, it was Rudy that did it. Maybe it's because these guys did 9/11. Maybe that's why.
Right. Yes. Damn, I'm having a great time watching your ferret and talking about ferrets right now.
Well, I was hoping he would be awake, and then of course
here you go. The cats. I had a dog who we had the dog first. He was a cocker spaniel, and so they are they're a hunting breed. They enjoy chasing small mammals. Like, he didn't know what to do with them. He just enjoyed chasing them. So when we got the ferret, he would get so excited. Never heard him, but when he would get, like, I would have to pull him off of him, because what he would do is he would stick his nose as, like, push down on the ferret with his nose as much as he could and just, like, sniff the hell out of him. And, like, to the point where, like, the ferret's body would be soaking wet with his, like, nose mucus. So that was he didn't know how to play with him, because his breed was to chase them and, like, hunt them down, but he was also not trained to actually hunt. So he would do the closest thing, and that is, I guess, try to drown him in his nose mucus.
Yeah, dogs tend to do that with a lot of animals. They'll just shove their nose down on a turtle, or just any animal that just is seemingly submissive.
Yeah.
Just struggles to chase cats.
Yeah, I want a ferret again. We were talking about possibly getting another dog, because we've always had dog. Well, not another. We would get a dog, because both my family and my partner's family, we've always had dogs in our home. And then the dogs all lived fairly decent lifespans. Then when we moved out, they came to live with us and all that. But the last of the dogs passed away in 2018, and that's when we got a cat, because we were like, oh, let's try cats, because we didn't feel comfortable getting a dog so soon after. It would have felt more directly like a replacement, instead of like, oh, with a cat, it's like a new, different thing altogether. But now we're sort of with the two kids too, thinking maybe getting another dog, getting a dog again for the first time in a couple of years. So we'd have a cat, we'd have a dog, and now I'm thinking of a ferret again. So we already got fish. Just turning our home into.
Yeah, we got fish. We have dogs. We have ow! Oh my God, he's getting really playful right now. You're
Yeah, I
really
mean,
going at me, aren't you?
this is exactly how a cat acts, honestly. Like the play biting, the rolling around like that. The war dance is unique to them. My cat doesn't do that. Um, but yeah, I mean, the fact that you would ban this animal for acting exactly like a cat does is ridiculous.
Well, it's just what happens. That's why pit bulls and Rottweilers are misunderstood. One of them attacks someone, and they just declare that breed a violent breed, and it's just not true. There's plenty of easy, corny reality shows covering that, proving that pit bulls and Rottweilers are not inherently bad or dangerous. But
Something I
we create
learned
that.
when taking my ferret to the vet, and I did not know this. You cannot have a ferret and a rabbit. You literally cannot do it. You can't have them together. I did not know that.
Weird.
When I went to the vet with my ferret, they had a vet pet, like the pet that lives at the vet's office, and it was a rabbit. And my ferret just walked by the rabbit cage, and the rabbit freaked out, started doing the thumping thing, like completely was going crazy. And the vet there was like you need to get the ferret away from the rabbit. In the wild, a wild ferret is like the number one predator or one of the number one predators for rabbits. Like what hunters would do they would get ferrets to go down into the rabbit hole and force the rabbit out the other side, and that's when they would shoot him.
Right.
So I did not know that. So you literally cannot have a ferret and a rabbit, because otherwise you're going to give your rabbit a heart attack, because they are instinct is to be completely afraid of ferrets.
Yeah, and rabbits they can stress themselves to death like that often. Um,
Yeah.
I took care of some rabbits when I was living on my aunt's farm. Took care of all kinds of animals, but rabbits were very interesting.
Yep. Yep. I was never
Yeah, yeah,
never a rabbit person. I mean, they're cute. Not for me though. Not for me.
right. Well, you can't say no to little baby bunnies. That's what I saw. And
Maybe I need to see
it's
the baby rabbits. Yeah. I was never a
oh,
cat
oh
person
my God.
either. I was never a cat person either. And then I got a cat, and I was like, I get it. But I will say the cat that I got was a rare
There you go.
acting cat. Like she was a very good. She didn't act very cat-like. And so when she was sick when we adopted her, we knew she was sick. She had an autoimmune deficient, like something wrong. And so she passed away fairly young. And then we got another cat thinking they'd be the same thing. And our current cat, Sabu, is way more cat-like. And I can tell you, still a fan of cats, but I think I was a bigger fan of cats because of how the previous cat acted.
Right. Yeah. Well, I love cats. Well, there's one. Oh, tried to chase them, but that didn't work.
Damn, now I want to see my cat play with a ferret. I didn't, because that seems like a much more natural playmate than a ferret and a dog.
Yeah, they made quite the mess with their kennel. I had to kind of makeshift a catch for their bedding. They just kind of made a mess every day. So then I went to vacuum it and he did not wake up. So that proved that he is completely deaf.
Ah. Yeah, they are. They got a lot of issues. I remember that. Yes, they get a lot of, as they age. There are a lot of things that go on with ferrets. Also,
Right,
I did not know this till later on, but a lot of ferret treats you're sold the idea that, oh, ferrets love peanut butter and things like that, like sweets like that. It's actually very bad for them. Like actually like bad for their like the ferrets, the breed. Yet all their treats are flavored that way for some reason.
Hmm.
It would be like
Weird.
if dog treats came in chocolate flavor. No one does that because everyone knows chocolate's bad for dogs.
No, indeed. Where are you going, little guy?
All right, Remy, this was a
Okay,
great
usually,
call. Thank you so much. This was a lot of fun for me. A lot of nostalgia for me, so I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, for sure. You take it easy, Matt. Okay.
All right, what's the ferret's name again?
His name is Elliot Page.
Oh yeah, right. Elliot Page. Have a great night, little buddy. Take care. Take care, Remy.
Take care, Matt.
Bye. I had a lot of fun doing that on that call. I'll take one more call because I went long with the ferret. That's something you don't hear every day. There was a few people who tried to call in during that call, and I feel bad. So I'll take one more call, and then I'll read some super chats and thank some patrons, and then that'll be the show. But I very much enjoyed the ferret talk. Maybe that's it for calls tonight. Maybe those people who were trying to call in, maybe I missed out. Cool Kid says, "Hi, you're the dude from the Majority Report, right? Talking about me? Yes, I am one of the dudes from the Majority Report. I'm not Sam Cedar. I'm not Matt Leck. I'm not Bradley the producer. I'm not Brandon Sutton, but I am Matt Binder." Oh, earlier someone said when I mentioned I went to Disney, was it M3GA Meg Anaconda or Meg Anaconda, I guess? Lefties go to Disney? Well, I mean, it's a place with rides, and I live in a society, and it's a fun place to go. And if you got kids, then it's a place to go. So lefties can go to Disney. Lefties can enjoy Disney. Lefties can advocate for better work conditions for the wonderful people who work at Disney and make it such a fun place. I mean, a lot of people who work there, you could tell, really enjoy it. So I hope they are treated well, and if not, Disney needs to treat them well, because without them, I mean, the people who make that whole experience, they definitely, Disney would just be another place. I mean, theme parks are a dime a dozen, right? But Disney is different for a multitude of reasons, and I would say the biggest is that the people who work there really seem to like what they do and interacting with people. Derek Tive. Directive. I'm sorry. Directive with a K. That was what's messing me up. Directive says lefties probably work at Disney too. Oh, yeah, for sure. I'll never forget. Not when I just went, but like, geez, probably 20 years ago when I went. I was wearing my Crash shirt. And one of the Cinderella mice, one of the people wearing the Cinderella mice costume, saw my Crash shirt and like pointed to my shirt in the like while they're in the car, pointed to my shirt and gave me like a thumbs up and like a nod, like hell yeah. I would have loved to give it a high five and talk with whoever was who was playing the Cinderella Mouse. You know the Cinderella Mouse I'm talking about, the one who makes her dress Cinderella, Cinderella. That's the song they sing. So that was a cool experience. Renee with a super chat. We can translate, Dr. Gus. Tony Rizzo sent you the link to my theme tune, Sad Boy Fascism. Renee also says, what if Cameron is John from San Antonio having gone crazy? Play the Bloomberg MR parody with the Mickey voices. Oh, I could just do it myself. I do have to find that clip though, but it's like what did what did Bloomberg say when he was talking about clearing out Zuccotti Park during Occupy? Oh, and I went bang, bang, bang. You slobs. Yeah, that was the Bloomberg Mickey Mouse voice that we Michael Brooks and I made for Mayor Bloomberg at the time. Brashley Cerebral with a super chat. Same Skype number we chatted on in May. Oh yeah, Aaron. I'm sorry, that was you. Yes, that you called. There was something wrong with the connection though. But yeah, Doomed Live. Tokyo Hans with a super chat. Abe wasn't popular and became less so after the incident. Interesting thing is the shooter had no problems politically with Abe, yet caused political crisis. Funeral still on. Abe's party too strong. Kowalski with a super chat. Anarcho dark Brandonism is gaining momentum, Jack. I gotta check out that speech apparently from Biden. Emo Dragon says, Matt, have you heard the Bad Boys cover by H2O? I have not actually. Or maybe I have, but long ago. I don't remember it. Oh, Cameron says I'm lying. I am. Bullshit, you are Sam Cedar. And also, this is going. Cameron says every Thursday when Emma takes control of the show, I've noticed there's a very problematic amount of anti-Samitism. That's good. I like that. Riley says, I've heard Disney is a tough job. I'm sure it is. I mean, the heat alone, doing the job in the heat alone's got to be rough. That Florida heat, oh my God. I wish Disney wasn't in Florida for both A, the weather, and B, it wouldn't be in Florida. Why couldn't Disney be in any other state? My dad says, I think most of the people working at Disney are lefties. Could be. I mean, if you like Disney, you're probably more of a progressive or at least leaning left than a right winger. Oh, my dad said, because I mentioned my mom paid for the trip. I guess I'm chopped liver because, yeah, my dad also, the grandparents wanted to experience Disney with their grandkids. So, but he also says that my mom did a heck of a job scheduling the trip, though. She put it all together, but my dad helped pay for it. Also, there needs to be a label for an adult, such as myself, who liked Disney so much because he enjoyed his kids enjoying Disney. Because I wasn't a Disney adult, like acting like I was the child there and running in front of, like, pushing children out of the way to get to the front of lines and like knocking kids out of the way so I could be in the front for the parades or whatever. Like, I literally saw adults do that. I was fully enjoying it so much because my kids were, and like they looked like they never saw, well, they've never seen anything like Disney. So but then they looked like they've never seen anything like Disney too. They were like, mouths agape, eyes wide open, could not believe it. So there needs to be a phrase, a label for someone who enjoyed Disney a lot and would like to go back one day to experience his kids' reactions to it again, and not to act like an overgrown child. Cause I had a great time. Daft Track says that the Bloomberg sounded like a high-pitched Hugo from Bob's Burgers. Sam could never. Emmy says I'm gonna have to call him with my Mickey Mouse impersonation. Sometimes I could do one. Hiya, folks. It's not so great right now. It depends what time of the day it is. My voice can't do certain things at certain times of the day. Huh? Oh boy. I can't do it right now. Renee says Six Flags, New Jersey. Did you hear what happened there? Apparently, a bunch of people had to go to the hospital because what's the name of that ride? The El Toro. Something happened in El Toro, and a bunch of people had to be hospitalized. Mm-hmm. Oh, my daughter's awake. Give me a second. Let me see if her mom is coming to her, or if she fell asleep too. Let me see. Give me 1 second. All's good, but I'm gonna wrap up now and take her back to bed. She's laying in our bed right now. Santa Cliff with a super chat. Hey man, great show as always. If you check your Twitter DM, I sent a link to the finished version of the song I serenaded you with a few weeks back. One love to the chats. The world is better with y'all. Oh, thank you. I'll check that out right now. Mozart says most of the people working at Disney are exploited. I'm pretty sure the majority of Disney staff, at least in Disney World, are union members. I didn't know that till recently. I mean, it doesn't mean everything is hunky dory, but yeah, there's a few unions that represent them. 41,000 cast members are part of one union. 18,000 hospitality workers at Disney are part of another union. So I mean, it's probably honestly maybe better than other places. Cool Kid says, "Yeah, Walt Disney was a massive anti-Semite." Yeah, I know Walt Disney is not Trekkie says Disney is also in California, Mappinder. Yeah, but Disneyland's not the same. Philbo Schwagen says that's called being a normal dad. Tokyo Han says it's being a good dad. Critical Revolt says a real dad. Oh, thank you. Mozart says Matt Binder equals George Costanza. How am I George Costanza? The best of the Seinfeld cast, by the way. So no complaints from me. Tokyo Han says I worked at Six Flags Magic Mountain when I was 16 for a summer. That job rocked. Critical Revolt says Disney is super evil. I mean, all these big companies. I mean, Amazon, you still order from Amazon, I'm sure. Some of these are just the way it is, you know? Sometimes you do what you got to do. All right, folks. Let me. I think that's all the super chats. Oh, over on Twitch, let's see. Serious Business, thank you for resubscribing at Tier 1. Subscriber for 10 months. Wow, thank you so much. I gotta give you one of these. Where is this? There you go. Thank you so much. 10 months. Wow, thank you. Amused Mob, resubscribe with Prime. Subscriber for 6 months. Thank you. It's my 6-month anniversary subscription, and my sister-in-law is going into labor. I'm going to be an uncle. Woo. Congratulations, Amused Mob. Kids are great. I'm a big fan of kids. My kids specifically, but you will be a big fan of your kids or your nieces and nephews, niece or nephew as well. Tokyo Hans, resubscribe with Prime, subscriber for 4 months. Thank you, Tokyo Hans. Disco Lemur, subscribe with Prime. Thank you. Samuel T. Seahigh, sorry if I messed up your name, gave out 10 community gift subs. Thank you. Workers Wave, subscribe with Prime. Daredevil, subscribe with Prime. Resubscribe with Prime. 4-month subscription. 4-month subscriber. Ponderosapine, a couple days ago, resubscribed at Tier 1. Subscriber for 8 months. Oh, I meant to get to this. The Reddit avatar thing. Let me save it for another, because I should mention this. This should be part of a Scam Economy episode. Like, maybe not a full episode, but we should be discussing. Let me save the Reddit blockchain wallet let me save this information you gave me. And I think I actually saw you DM me some more information about it. So let me save that. And a social communist, subscriber for 6 months. Thank you so much. Remember, you could, if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, connect your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. You get a free Twitch Prime subscription each month. You can subscribe to my channel, which costs you nothing. And Amazon gives me money when you do that. So if you're already an Amazon Prime subscriber, it's a great way to support this show and not spend a penny more than you're already paying for Amazon Prime. If you already do it, remember that you have to manually renew the next month. Twitch Prime subscriptions, the freebie ones, do not auto-renew. Amazon, I guess, hopes that you'll forget about it so they don't have to, do it if you forget. And over on Patreon, it's first of the month. Oh, I didn't check this. Oof. Lost a little more than a dozen patrons between the first of the month and people canceling for financial reasons, and cards getting declined because of expirations or other various reasons. So first of the month, best time to become a Patreon subscriber, because just it happens to every Patreon, but when you don't have tons of subscribers, it's a little bit more obvious when a few people it happens to a few people. So patreon.com/MattBinder if you can afford to support this show. Again, I want to make clear, like, I have a full-time job, so I never want to make it sound like, and I really try hard to make sure it never sounds like, your money goes to supporting the show and growing the show and helping me create more content. It does not go to like paying my rent or sustaining my lifestyle or whatever. I have a job for that. When this does become my full-time job, I'll let you guys know that you're keeping me alive. But for now, don't feel like if you can't afford to give me money, you're I'm gonna go live on the streets or something. No. This is simply money to help grow this show. And one day, my hope is that it becomes big enough and there's enough subscribers where I can do this full time and create tons and tons of content. Break more stories, do more cool things like that. So people who subscribe to the Patreon, I'll name the people who subscribed during the week I was out too, because there wasn't that many this week. And I want to make sure those people get their shout out. So let's go to. All right, Pearson B, Justin I, Vincent G, Craig Z, Jared M, and Cheryl A. Thank you so much for becoming patrons. It is a huge help to growing the show. Can't do it without you. Really, cannot. And of course, everyone who gave a super chat as well. Oh, look at this. Directive with a $20 super chat. Some Disney bucks reimbursement. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Listen, my hope is that we live in a wonderful world where everyone can afford to do nice things, and everyone who works at the nice place where people like to do nice things are paid and compensated very well, and everyone is living in a beautiful utopia where everyone enjoys and helps people enjoy and has funds to enjoy for themselves too. All right, folks, let us go say goodnight. Let me know who to raid over on Twitch. Who should I raid on Twitch? It's been a pleasure. Not much crypto talk on this episode. I don't think there was any, actually, but that's fine. My first Scam Economy post show back. We're back in business, baby. Back to the usual schedule. Tuesdays live streams, Thursdays live streams. Who should I raid? Let's see. Ooh, getting a bunch of new ones that I've never even heard of before. Let's see here. Let's see what we can do here. Let's see. Let me see. Let me take a quick look at some of these. Let's see. We got Mouse Bits. Someone said, who's Mouse Bits? I don't see them. We got Wrath81. Who's that? Let's see. I'm checking to see who my audience would most like be into. That could be a possibility. Who's Thias? They're not on. Whoever Thias is. Let's see. Should I raid? Who else is on? It's hard because I stream at a time where I don't. A lot of people usually aren't on. Ooh, who's this? Blue Lizard Guts? That's someone I don't think I've ever raided before. Let's see what this is. All right, I could do Blue Lizard Guts or Wrath81. Who we voting for? Who we voting for here? Oh, it's Rathbone, but the B is an 8. All right, let's do. I've seen multiple people say Rathbone, so let's do them. Let's raid Rathbone, and I'll get Blue Lizard guts next time. I want to raid all these people, but I like giving some new people a chance. Here we go. Let's do this. Rathbone gets it. Oh, I've raided Blue Lizard twice? Oh, my bad. So good. I'm doing someone new. That's what I wanted to do, right? All right, raiding them now. All right, everybody. Have a great night. I will see you all next time on either Doomed or Scam Economy.